renting an Airbnb for one day just to fish a private pond worth the money? Today, we find out.
That feels like a big deal.
That legitimately might be my biggest bluegill ever. Holy What's cranking, wieners, and welcome back to another episode of Airbnb and Bassin. On this series, we travel all throughout the United States, hunting down some of the coolest Airbnbs with amazing fishing opportunities with them. And today we found ourselves in central Wisconsin at probably one of the most unique Airbnbs I've ever seen in my entire life. Take a look at this. This right here is an early 1940s Douglas DC-3 airplane that has been retrofitted into an Airbnb. When I saw this thing online, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to stay here. Not only is this probably one of the most unique Airbnbs I've ever found on the website, but it also boasts the opportunity to fish. There's a private pond literally adjacent to this. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. We get to stay in a place where not a whole lot of people can say they've stayed, but on top of that, we get to do a bit of fishing later on. But before we fish, let's take a tour of our airplane. Welcome to our humble abode. This is probably one of the coolest places I've ever stayed at. And to be fair, we actually have already spent the night here. So we have a true feeling as to what it's like to sleep and also live in one of these places. So today I'm gonna show you guys what it's like. So I wanna note too, because there's a lot of airplane nuts out there probably watching this video too. The owner, Joe, describes this airplane as being a Douglas DC-3 that was actually used in World War II to transport goods, utility, cargo, and troops from, I think, Guam to Pearl Harbor. But I also wanna make it very clear that the DC-3 was also retrofitted for military use and later called the C-47 Skytrain. So I'm not specifically sure if it's a C-47 Skytrain or a DC-3 Douglas. Essentially, they're the same, pretty much the same planes. The DC-3 was used mostly for civilian use, whereas this one, I think, technically was used for military use, giving it a little bit different name. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look inside. Let's open up the hatch. You ready? I think she's pressurized. Oh, take a look at this. Wow, this is incredible. It feels weird to be in an airplane that isn't an actual working aircraft. This is very cool. The owner of this Airbnb did an amazing job, not only keeping the real feel of the airplane, but also making it nice and comfy and livable. Let's start from the tail of the plane, so we'd have to work back to the bathroom. Everything is linear in this Airbnb. So here we go. There's your bathroom. This is pretty nuts. Take a look at this. This place does come with, by the way, working water, propane heater, and Wi-Fi. So you get all the amenities. Also, it is heated and cooled too. So it's very comfortable in here. Here's the bathroom. In the very back of the plane, you've got the shower. There's just one shower head. This is some of the hottest water I think my skin has ever touched. I don't know why it's so hot, but this guy's propane water heater works really well. I think it's set to like 185 degrees on full hot. So I almost burnt myself this morning. That was nice. Of course, you've got a turlet right here. You know what that's for. A nice sink over here, which obviously works. It literally has a danger jet blast right there, and I think that is meant for so people don't burn their freaking hands. It is the equivalent of the heat that comes out of an actual jet engine. A nice little mirror here so you can shave your face, get all ready, which I did this morning for this video. But I mean, pretty sizable bathroom. It's a full bath. You've got the shower, you got the turlet, you got the sink, and ultimately it works. Okay, moving forward into what you would call, I suppose, the kitchen area, where you got a little dinette, a little bar here. You could edit your videos. You could just kind of look out and watch the Wisconsin world go by. It's quite a nice view. Of course, on this side, you've got just some grass, and over there, you got a beautiful view of the porch and the pond. This place doesn't come with like your traditional stovetop or oven, but you do get a microwave and a little electric burner with a toaster, so you could crush some avocado toast or maybe some bagels, lox, and cream cheese. And it does come with a pot and all that, so you can boil some rice or some mac and cheese. Listen, you're in an airplane, dude. You're gonna eat like gas station junk food while you're here. That's kind of the beauty of it, right? Keurig, that's nice. You can get caffeinated in the morning. And of course, a double sink, which is honestly perfect for cleaning fish. Again, danger jet blast. I kid you not, that water is like 185 degrees. I also want to note too, there's like little funny airplane anecdotes all throughout here. So you've got guys, paratroopers right here. You've got some Lady Luck posters. A lot of like half naked women in this Airbnb, you will notice, but you know, to each their own. Of course, you got a nice, what is this? I don't know. I'm not an airplane guy, but that looks like a World War II era airplane. So there's little decals and stuff all over here. Of course, this is an American American jet. So you've got, it's not a jet, technically it's a prop plane, but you've got American flag on here too. It's got to be patriotic. And then under that, you've got your little fridge and freezer, which is really nice. Comes equipped with, you know, plates, utensils, things like that. Now, moving over to this side, let me adjust you guys. Oh, I also want to mention too, the flooring is really cool in this airplane. I don't know if this is the original airplane, but like I said, this aircraft would have been used for military purposes. So shipping rations, weapons, any sort of cargo, and of course also soldiers, boots, men on the ground. So I don't know if these tie downs are original or if he found these later, but I think that's what they would have been for. They would have been tie downs for cargo. And surprisingly, this airplane's not that big. Like this would have been like this is like the size of like an airplane that's a little bit smaller than like an American Eagle. If you're doing like a quick 1 hour flight, that's what American Airlines puts you on. They put you on those little tiny American Eagles and they actually let you fly those planes. They're so small. But in this case, it's a little bit smaller, it seems like, than one of those flights, or maybe about the same size. I expected that, you know, for a cargo plane it would be bigger, but this must have worked and been just fine for World War II era purposes. Okay, anyway, first bed. This is a kind of like a couch lounge area, but it also pulls out apparently. I won't show you guys, just have to take my word for it. And then there's also another one over here. So you've got the opportunity to technically sleep, I think, like 4 people in here. If you wanted to get really close and intimate with your homies, you could do 2 and then 2, or if you're with your missus, you could do 2 and then the kids could sleep right there. There's actually a lot of room for sleeping in here. I know I was just saying it's tiny and it's tight in here, but there is a lot of room. The owner did a really nice job of laying this place out. Okay, moving forward, this is what I would, you know, call the living room, the living space. You got a nice couch. This is like a nice whiskey couch. Oh, let me test it out actually. Oh, that's quite nice. Very comfortable. The butt quality on this is just, it's top tier. The only thing I'm missing is some brown water in my hand. And of course, you've got a TV. What is a airplane Airbnb without a TV? So you could watch, I don't know, you could watch Top Gun on here with some other good ones. You could watch Apocalypse Now. You could watch Saving Private Ryan. You could watch The Fury. Anyway, those are all like war and World War II movies. Under here too is a portrait of a C-47 Skytrain, which is, again, going back to what I was saying, the military variant of this plane. I think they're pretty much just about identical, but they just named them different things. Really cool portrait of what would have been a Douglas used in wartime. And of course, the coolest part is over here. So moving out of the lounge area, we've got the cockpit. Take a look at this. So not only can you sleep in an airplane, but you can stay in this place and feel like you are an actual pilot for the day. This is so cool. The owner kept everything, all the gauge clusters. Of course, you've got your what is this? Oh, my pilot's out. Your steering wheel, obviously your yoke. Is this your yoke, I believe? And then this controls your flaps right here. Obviously, nothing hopefully is moving outside of this Airbnb right now, but you still get the feel that, you know, you could fly this for a little bit, you know. Actually, Caleb yesterday, before we filmed this video, he got in the cockpit. He spent a couple of silent minutes over here, and he left, and he came out of his station, looked at me and said, I think I can fly an airplane now. It's literally just that simple. You could touch up on your flying skills right here. All these little levers actually move, which is incredible. It makes you think like how insane flying actually is, especially one of these older aircrafts. I mean, I can barely look at 2 gauge clusters on my car, the tach and the speedometer, and you've got all of these different needles and numbers, and oh, then up here you've got switches, and especially back then there was no Garmin or GPS. Everything was kind of done probably with radar and this little thing right here, which would have been the compass. But yeah, this is really cool. There's a little Guam sticker right here. I'm not sure what this is. You've got headwind component knots. I don't know. I'm quite literally speaking out of my butt. This little sign says, warning, buckle up. It's about to get real. I don't think that would have actually been in the plane, but it's a nice little touch. You've got like an old photograph right here. Something that, you know, a GI might have gotten from their missus. Joey, come on, come home safe to me. XOXO, love, Ethel. And she's on the top of an old Jeep. So yeah, I mean, it's just cool. You get the feeling that, you know, obviously you're in an actual airplane, but they do a good job. The owner does a good job of keeping everything pretty much the same, you know, what you might seen if you were in one of these airplanes back in 1941. I love it though, it's pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at the outside now. What's that? Sit your candy ass down, soldier, we're taking enemy fire! I cap, yes. God dang it! Oh my God. I just want to film an Airbnb video. What is going on?
Mayday! Mayday!
We just lost an engine! We just lost 2 engines! Oh dear Lord.
Mayday!
Both
Mayday.
the engines? Oh, come on. I'm gonna put her down in this playing field. Hang on! Oh my God. Come on. Jump.
Mayday! Mayday!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to be the first to welcome you to Detroit International Airport. Clear skies, nice and breezy, 84 degrees, and we want to thank you guys for flying Spirit Airlines. That was some crazy turbulence. Anyway, take a gander at the outside living space. I know we kind of briefly filmed out here, but don't really talk about it. There's like this amazing, beautiful patio. You could almost even call this the jet bridge. You've got a nice little lounge area right there, which we've already made work of. This is where we've been rigging up some rods, getting ready for the fishing portion of this video, which you guys seem to like, but a lot of people also like seeing the tours of Airbnbs, and this is without a doubt one of the coolest ones. That reminds me also too, we didn't realize on the way here, very, very popular YouTuber, big YouTuber by the name of Ryan Train, actually a local Texan himself, filmed at this very one. So it was like the one that he picked to film in Wisconsin. He was doing 50 Airbnbs in 50 states. So shout out to Ryan. Amazing channel, does really creative ideas, but it's cool to kind of stay at a place where he's also stayed at. Anyway, going on, so you've got the kind of the lounge area. You could have some nice fresh squeezed lemonade, but over here you've got a nice little wick rocking chair. And then of course, what's a nice Airbnb Wisconsin without a grill? You could come out here after a long day of fishing and hanging out in your airplane and cook up some brats, have some Miller Lite, or maybe some New Glarus spotted cow, and just watch the world go by. It is so tranquil and peaceful out here. You are literally tucked away in the woods, and this is a part of Wisconsin that is fairly remote. This part of Wisconsin doesn't get a whole lot of tourism, so it's nice and it's quiet. There's not a whole lot of actual planes flying over, and it's just very peaceful. Anyway, now that you guys have seen the tour, full tour of our airplane B&B, let's head down to the lake and do some fishing. Oh. Smells like football season. And with that, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, DraftKings. DraftKings is having their biggest fantasy contest ever. All you have to do is sign up to their best ball contest. It's $20 for a shot to win $15 million in prizes. First place prize winner gets $2 million. Second place prize winner gets $1 million, including a bunch of other prizes for players who enter. And the best part about DraftKings Best Ball Contest is there's no waiver fees, no roster management, and an injury is not going to ruin your season. So maybe your favorite cornerback or your favorite wide receiver that he's just crushing for you, he tears his ACL, it's all good. The roster management's easy. DraftKings is crowning 2 millionaires for this contest. First place gets $2 million, and second place gets $1 million. So run your game with DraftKings this season and sign up for their Best Ball Contest. Check the link down below, and don't forget to use my code John B when you sign up. He's open. Picked off. There he goes, he's in the end zone. I just got cut. Welcome to the lake. Now in the Airbnb listing, Joe states that fishing is allowed at the pond adjacent, but we are at a little bit different pond that is close to the Airbnb that he normally doesn't allow people to fish. But we ran into an awesome individual yesterday, Chris over at Meps Lures, who is family with the owner of this Airbnb, and Joe is allowing us to fish off of his own private boat. So this also allows us to, get a little more fishing, hopefully show you guys some more fishing content. So we get to use a boat for the day. This doesn't come with the Airbnb, but because we made friends with Chris yesterday and Chris knows the owner, we're able to fish off of his beautiful rig. So let's do just that. Hey, shout out to Caleb for figuring out how to get it off the lift. There is no switch for the winch, but you just got to go backwards with it. Incredible stuff. Remote control. Very nice. Cool. So here's the thing. I don't actually know what lives in this lake, but Chris was telling me that there are some nice bluegill in here and also some bass. And of course we're in Wisconsin too, so maybe crappie, maybe perch and everything in between. So with that in mind, I went to your local gas station, your local Quick Trip, and I picked up some live crawlers. So we're gonna get old fashioned, maybe sit down and soak some crawlers today for some big gills. Big gills are fun, especially up here in the north. They're a prized possession amongst many scrawny anglers. Oh, don't mind me, I'm just doing a bit of trolling. Doing a bit of trolling. There's all kinds of cool ways we could fish today. We could, where'd my remote go? I already lost it. There it is. We could troll, we could frog fish. I'm gonna go over to this bank right now and throw some frogs around for a little bit, get the heart rate pumping. But after that, we might see if we can soak some crawlers. I'd love to get a big perch today too. Crappie would be nice and fun. Really anything. You know, I'm a big opportunistic these days. The older I get, the more inclined I am to fish just like I'm fishing right now. Sitting down with live bait. Here, froggy, froggy bass. This piece of wood's gonna have something lurking on it. No? Yep, there we go. What is this? First fish of the day. Oh, was the first fish of the day. I called it. I said, that piece of wood there's gonna have a fish on it. Unidentified species though, I have no idea what that was. If I had to guess, either a small pike or a largemouth. Ew. Today we're gonna start off by throwing a little Guggen filthy frog. If you guys wanna pick some of these up, use my code, save 10% off. Beautiful frog, one of my favorites ever. And you know, it is summer in Wisconsin, and this lake seems like it's got a lot of shaded, grassy cover, so first thing I tied on when I saw this lake, I'm like, it's frogging time. It's frogging time. We're on. First fish, maybe? Perhaps? What do I have here? Ah! A green one! Nice. A beautiful little northern strain bass. Our first one at our Airbnb airplane. Just gulped that filthy frog down. Now, granted, we filmed a lot of these videos down south in Texas where a fish like this would be truly a dink, but up north, you're happy to catch anything over 12. It's a beautiful fish. Obviously, there's probably big bass in here, but it's a nice starting point and a beautiful example of a central Wisconsin LMB. Let's kiss him, spank him, and send him back. Bye-bye, Stinky. That's a good sign. They're eating the frog. I like that. That could be a million degrees. Oh, I watched that fish come up and... Oh! Is it a largemouth? Another largemouth. I thought it was a pike for a second. Oh, he's off! God dang! I'm 1 for 3. I watched that fish like come off the bank and chase it down. That was pretty nifty. It was pretty cool, and you get to watch him eat it in real time. This way, trolling motor. Why are you going out to the lake? I think the trolling motor wants me to fish drop shots and night crawlers. This looks fishy. Knock, knock. Anyone home? Yes, there is. Us, fish number 2. Another nice Wisconsin largemouth. I gotta have the accent if I'm gonna say Wisconsin. Nice, dude. Nothing big, but I'm enjoying myself. This is fun. It's a beautiful day up north. It's not 101 degrees like back home. And I'm able to throw frogs in shallow water for anything that's biting. In this case, nice little LMBZ. Fish number 2. That's a good sign. Later. There we go. Another one. Another one. I'm on the pip bite right now, but dude, it's fun. If I gotta catch little ones, doing it on top waters, amazing, especially in this here junk. There's some frog eggs on there, see that? It's all slimy, those are frog eggs. Cool, man, nature talk. Here we go. I think we're gonna catch a couple more of these guys to see if we can transition to maybe get some big panties, some big panfish. Panties, not panties, panties. Caleb thought that was funny. Bye-bye, my little fellow. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit better for sure. Well, maybe, I don't know. Yoink, got him. Yeah, that's a little bit better. We upgraded from 12 inches to 13 inches. Come here, little Stinky. Oh man, he clobbered that frog. Barely any room in that mouth, but he made sure to absolutely choke it. Oh, that's fun. Fish number, what is that, 4, Caleb? 4 or 5? I think 4 if I can count correctly. I think it's 4. I'd say 5 if I couldn't count, but I think I can count. Beautiful bass. Beautiful, lovely Airbnb bass. I bid farewell. He's gonna jump, he's gonna jump. Oh, there he goes. I like this pond so far. This is not bad fishing. Granted, they're not big ones, but I didn't come into Wisconsin necessarily to catch 10 pounders. I came here to have some fun, fish shallow, stay cool, and ultimately just stay fishy. So I like this pond so far. What's really gonna be telling is if we can manage to catch some panfish as much as we're duping these bass right now and eating. The panfish can actually be pretty hard, especially the big ones. So I'm gonna fish the rest of this froggy looking corner and see if we can switch it up. Oh, another one, another one. Caleb almost went in the water. Back to back bass. That was crazy. I almost should be throwing like a little micro frog right now. That'd be fun. They're just hammering this thing. This corner seems to be pretty productive. Might be the smallest one of the day. Hey, but she's in the boat and we caught her. Number 6. Later. Later, Stanky. On my sit down grind right now, you know what that means. I got a crawler on the end of my hook. We're gonna see if we can get some panfish. There's no better way to catch bluegill than with just a freaking crawler or a leech. No leeches today, but we got crawlers. Oh, just got bit. Come on, come on. What do I have? Largemouth. Largemouth, what are you doing? Of course, throw a freaking bluegill rig and I get another little stinky bass. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you stinky. You're beautiful in my eyes. This might be my first bass on a night crawler in probably 20 years. Okay, get back down there. Tell your big bluegill buddies to bite. Fish. I have no idea what it is. Oh, new species. Well, this is one of the fish that we wanted to catch while here in Wisconsin. It's a nice big sunfish. Look at the size of that guy. It's a quality one. I have to guess she's probably like 8 inches, 8, 9 inches. That is the power of a nightcrawler right there. You get big panfish like this. That's a quality one. It's probably one of my biggest panfish of the year. Nice, big, mean Midwestern gill. They're a stunning fish and they're also highly coveted up here in the Midwest. Big bluegill get a lot of anglers jacked up, as they do me. I get pretty jacked up catching these guys. Let's send our panfish back. That's awesome. Something different. We don't normally slow things down and just kind of have fun and try to catch other things other than bass on these Airbnb bass tours. I know bass is the name, but really we're just here to fish. And it's so hot in Texas, I thought it'd be cool to explore something unique up here where it's a little bit more nicer up here. It's like 80 degrees. It's a bit breezy, but overall, it's beautiful fishing weather. Let's see if we can get another one. Oh, hang on. That feels like a big gill. Please be a big gill. Oh my gosh, this is definitely bluegill, and it's a big one if it is. Wow, this thing feels massive, whatever it is. Holy smokes, what do I have? This thing feels big. I've never been so excited before. I got leader, I think. Oh my God, it's a honking gill. Dude, it's massive. Oh my God, look at the size of that bluegill. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. That legitimately might be my biggest bluegill ever. Holy smokes, dude. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how big is that? I think I have a tape on the boat. That is a monster. Holy smokes, dude. I think I actually just got my personal best bluegill live with you guys right now. Oh my gosh. It takes a lot of a fish to get me absolutely geeked, but this is a perfect example where I am just blown away. I cannot believe we just caught probably my personal best bluegill ever, especially at least in Wisconsin, the Midwest and whole. That is a giant. Holy smokes. What a specimen. They are so cool, man. They are so freaking cool. I've always said if these guys get up to like, if they could get up to 8 pounds, no one would fish for bass. It'd just be bluegill anglers nationwide. But this is a perfect example of one that's big enough to actually throw down. This thing fought harder than any bass we caught today. Holy smokes. 10 inches from head to tail. That is a beast, dude. Let's get him unhooked and send him back. Put him in the water. 10-inch freaking gill, man. That's a meat hammer. That's a meat hammer. Oh, kicked off like a mule. Let's go, dude. PB bluegill. Woo! Awesome. Well, we are back. What a fun little fishery that was. Don't forget at the end of this video too, I'm going to give my overall thoughts, opinions, and rating of the Airbnb and also the pond, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for now because, well, you guys probably know that place is pretty cool. Anyway, the one thing I want to do right now that I haven't done with too many of these Airbnb videos is explore outside of the Airbnb. We go to some cool destinations, and with that, there's some interesting sights to see, some good places to eat. And where we're staying actually right now is literally just down the road, I guess, to one of the most premier restaurants in Wisconsin. And I was able to get a reservation for this place. It's super hard. They've got like a, I don't know, like a 2-month waiting period. 5-star, it's got 2 Michelin stars, but it's like a 5-star on Google. So we're gonna head over there right now and show you guys some true Wisconsin cuisine. I'm super excited. I built up a major appetite after catching some gills. So let's head on the road and show you guys this place.
Thank you for choosing Culver's. What can we get fresh for you today?
Hey, how's it going? Can I get a butter burger and a large cheese curd?
Do you want cheese on that burger?
Yes, please.
And you said a double, correct?
Yeah, I'm making a double.
Do you want the works on there?
Yeah.
And for your large cheese curd, did you want any ranch mayo?
No ranch.
Alright, what to drink then?
Ooh, how about a Sprite?
Anything else?
That'll do it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then may I please have a name?
John.
1455 at the window.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. My sweet Culver's. You know, if you don't know, Culver's is what's keeping Wisconsin running. This is the birthplace of curds. In my opinion, Culver's does some of the best curds. Look at that golden little nugget. Oh, I don't know what happened. I think they lost my reservation, so we weren't able to eat in there. It's so busy, like governors and celebrities in there, and I don't want to bother anyone with the camera, so we just went through the drive-thru. And let me tell you what, even though we didn't get the full dining experience, we're at least getting to taste the goodness of Culver's. Oh my gosh. Take a look at that butter burger. Everyone knows the rules, one bite. I love you, Culver's. All right. Well, we got our food, which is important. You know, you have to eat right if you're in Wisconsin. Strict diet of beef and cheese, which we accomplished in doing so. There is one thing I want to check out, though. I was looking around in this town and see what else there's to do other than fish and show you guys Airbnb, and there's actually something else that was born in Wisconsin, a very famous fishing lure company that a lot of you guys probably didn't even know existed right here in this little town. So we're gonna go to their headquarters right now. We're gonna see if we can show you guys a tour of one of the most, probably the most notorious and legendary lures there is. And it's made right here in Antigo. Let's go check it out. Squirrel tail department. Huh. Oh, they do guided tours. That's cool. Hey, is Chris around?
Chris.
That's a great question. I could text him. Maybe I'll give him a quick call. We were just wanting to film a little bit today in the shop.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought the bluegill I caught today was big, and then I came here at the MEPS HQ, and they've got the world record red ear sunfish, 4 pounds 8 ounces, caught in June 28th, 1970. I don't think it's still the standing red ear world record, but it was caught on a MEPS Comet minnow. There's also a bunch of other fish up here too. You've got, I believe that's an Arctic char. You got striped bass, big largemouth, brown trout, massive brook trout. That's pretty cool. Of course, muskie too. That's how, you know, I started to learn about MEPS not only through the trout, but how popular they were in the muskie world. All these fish will eat a MEPS, which is just cool to think, honestly. What the guys were just explaining is a lot of times companies, brands would reach out to MEPS and they'd want to do their own kits, and there's some old style spinners in here too. Ace Hardware Super Striker assortment. That is so cool. Coke, Orvis, and you've got, there's the Miller, of course. Yep, I love it. It's so cool. Another Orvis. Lunker Specials, for BASS. BASS, the tournament organization. It's crazy. So they were just showing me one of the first, basically close to one of the first MEPS designs, and this would have been 1940s. The company's as old as 1938. Is that what you just? Yep. Yeah. So 1938 is how long MEPS has been going, which is incredible. Almost over 100 years, still cranking out the anglers. One of the anglers' probably favorite and first lures. I mean, this is definitely one of the first lures I had in my tackle box. I think everyone's got a MEPS inline spinner. A lot of the stuff in here is just basically the pieces, and the crew in here kind of takes all those pieces and puts them together. There's so many different SKUs. Do you guys know how many specific, because it changes, right? It's just cool to see them all before they come to fruition and they're made. And they're all handmade here in Wisconsin, which I did not know. I had no idea until we came here to film this Airbnb video. I'm like, MEPS is right down the road. It's pretty nuts. There's so many different colors, so many different blade sizes, so many different weights, hook sizes, and of course, getting to the sign that we saw back out there, it said, what does it say, squirrel tail department? Oh, yeah. That's where you can literally bring your squirrel tails. They'll use those squirrel tails for the lure. And the guys here were explaining that the genuine hair is pivotal. Using the fake stuff doesn't work. They tried it. It didn't work out. The anglers weren't happy, so they went back to genuine bucktail and squirrel tail, correct? Those are the two main ones. It's pretty cool. It's just stuff you don't think of when you pick up a lure and you catch a fish on it. There's so much time and effort and thought that goes into it. Who would have freaking thought that today we would not only gotten a chance to catch my personal best bluegill, stay in a airplane Airbnb, but also see the birthplace where it all goes down for MEPS spinners. I mean, literally, if you're watching this video right now, I guarantee you have a MEPS spinner in your tackle box, or at least at some point when you started fishing or fishing now, you had one. Anyway, shout out to the folks over at MEPS for allowing us to tour their facility and bring you guys along with us to what else there is to do in a beautiful state like Wisconsin other than eat cheese curds, catch massive bluegill, and eat cheese curd. Those are the three things, or I guess those are the, anyway, let's head back to the Airbnb. We'll meet you there. We are back at our airplane B&B after an eventful day of fine dining, catching some fish, and of course checking out the MEPS headquarters. That was truly so much fun. Thank you guys for joining me. I really, truly love traveling to new destinations such as Wisconsin. I've been here before, but it's been almost 5 years since I've set foot on this beautiful Northwoods soil. And on top of visiting Wisconsin, we also, of course, got a chance to stay and live and fish out of probably one of the coolest, most unique Airbnbs that I've personally found. But before I bid farewell to all you beautiful wieners out there, this is the part in the video in which I give you guys my 1 out of 10 scale rating of not only the B&B, but also the pond that we fished today. So let's start with the pond. I think the pond was fun. I had hoped to find some bigger bass, but it seems like either I just like catching small fish or I'm good at it, or it just might be the fact of the matter that it doesn't have a whole lot of big bass. It was still fun. We got some nice frog fish, and of course, the biggest highlight was my personal best bluegill, which was nuts. Beautiful fish. So with that in mind, I originally was going to give the pond maybe like a 6 out of 10, but if there's big bluegill in this pond and maybe even bigger ones like that are north of 10 inches, I think I'm going to have to give the pond, I'm going to say a 7.8 out of 10 for fishing, because it was scenic, it was quiet, and it is essentially private. So you don't have to deal with a bunch of big wakeboarders or other anglers stealing your spot. It's very quaint, it's very nice, and I loved it. Now time for the Airbnb. Goes without saying, this place is very rad. Loved staying here. It's very comfortable. Not only is it something that works, like it's a very livable space, but it's a talking point. It's a story you could come back home and tell your family or your friends, like, dude, I stayed in an Airbnb in the woods that was an airplane. Just, you'd have people scratching their heads once you told them that. So with that in mind, with all the amenities this place comes with, the location, the surrounding woods, and the fact that it is in a nice, quaint little part of Wisconsin, I'm gonna have to give the B&B an 8 out of 10, just because it's so different, and you're just not gonna find something like this. I think there's maybe one other Airbnb that I have found that boasts the fact that you can stay in an airplane, and that's all the way in Alaska. So this wasn't that far. We only flew maybe, 5 hours to get to here. It's very convenient. So 8 out of 10 for the Airbnb, 7.8 for the fish pond. But anyway, I'm peacing out, signing out. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know where you should film next, what state we should film. Maybe you've got a good lead on an Airbnb. Maybe you yourself owns an Airbnb with some good fishing. And if you do, let us know. Send me an email right there, and we'll try to make it happen. But for now, I bid farewell. Thank you for the view, and we'll catch you on the next one. As always, folks, keep fishing. Never stop.